Europe's largest economy is facing an unprecedented crisis. It is in deep waters, it is in deep trouble. Combined with that, the political turmoil that is happening in the Bundestag, that is the national parliament of Germany, is bound to have severe implications not only on the German economy, but is bound to have ripples spanning the global world order. So currently, this is the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, who recently paid a visit to our nation, India, in during October, and he is the leader of the Social Democratic Party, also known as the Red Party. We'll talk about the colors a little bit later in the session. Fine. So the agenda for today, as always, first we'll discuss about the geography because it is imperative to understand what led to the expansive, massive, drastic German development, economic development in the first place, and geography is a significant contributor to it. History will skip for the while. We have a tumultuous period. History, lot of stuff happened in the midst of it. So we'll discuss about economy, how the geography and other strategic locations, the geopolitical global order influences economy. Then we are going to understand the current political developments which have exacerbated or worsened the condition or the stability of the Germans. And finally, we are going to discuss about the geopolitical implications of these all these factors. So stay tuned, it is going to be a very interesting session. So first of all, the countries. I think it is better to start or introduce the session with something, a subject like geography, which gives you a holistic picture. It enthuses a person, it develops the interest. So as you know, this is Germany. Okay, then I'm going to mention the surrounding countries as well as some countries which do not share a border with Germany. So just try to recollect or try to name the countries along with me. So this is Poland, this is Czech Republic, this is Slovakia, this is Austria, this is Hungary, this is Slovenia, this is Croatia, this is Serbia, this small part, this is Bosnia and Herzegovina, this is Romania, this is a part of Ukraine, this is Belarus, currently an ally of Russia in the Russia Ukraine war. This is a very important territory, Kaliningrad, which is not which is a part of Russia but not connected to the main boundaries of Russia. This is the Baltic state of Lithuania. Above we have Latvia, and above Latvia we have Estonia. Some other countries, the tourist hotspot, Switzerland, Italy, France, Paris Olympics, Belgium, Netherlands. This is also a part of Netherlands. And this Chotusa country is Luxembourg. This is United Kingdom. This is Denmark. This is Sweden. So we have covered. So it makes things interesting. If I want to write some of the important features, so this is the Baltic Sea. This is North Sea. This is the English Channel. So these terms, if often they come mentioned in the newspaper, so it becomes easy for you to imagine or recollect that these were taught, so you can easily relate to what is happening where. Fine. Okay, some of the important geographical features and important cities which will further enthuse, which will further develop your interest, because obviously resources, A lot of technological advancements have been made, but the basic resources, which the fossil fuels, gold, iron ore, coal, petroleum, natural gas, still even the modern developed economies, they are dependent on these sources. So a brief discussion about that. So here the famous mountains we know, the Alps. Okay, they transcend a lot of countries, Italy, Switzerland, these countries which we have already discussed. Then further, I'm not marking the extension of these Alps, Carpathian Mountains, then Transylvanian Mountains. Okay, this here is the Black Forest Mountain, not the pastry. This here is the ore mountains where uranium is found. This is the Bavarian Alps. Bavaria is a region, it is a federal state in Germany also. Germany comprises of 16 federal states. It is known as the Federal Republic of Germany. Fine. So these are the prominent mountain ranges. Now we are going to mark the important rivers. Okay, so I'll just label them also. So these are the Alps. These are the Black Forest, not the pastry, but the mountains. These are the Ore Mountains. This is the Bavarian Alps. This here is very important river, Rhine River. You know, in India also we have several waterways for transporting. In the US political history, we had discussed maps, we had discussed the St. Lawrence River. In the northeastern United States, very important waterway for transporting cargo, passengers. So this Rhine River is there. This is Danube River, very important river. It starts from the Alps and then goes all the way, drains into the Black Sea. Fine. Okay. Now some of the further we'll discuss about the resources. Okay. So coal, if we discuss the coal regions, so we have coal which is found here, coal is found here, coal is found here, coal is also found here, coal is also found here. Don't worry, I'll label the regions also. Then we have natural gas in this region. Then we have salt. Germany is also a leading producer of phosphate, lignite, bituminous. Lignite and bituminous are forms of coal depending upon the carbon content. Okay. Now here this region. This region is known as the Saar region. Historically also very important. Saar is also a name of the state here. This region is known as the Rhine. Rhine or Rhineland. With the same name, there is also a state here. This is known as the Ruhr region. Fine. Then this we natural gas, petroleum. This is salt. This is the Lower Saxony region, and this is the Eastern region. So it is rich in resources. Now, finally, we are going to highlight or mention the important cities, the industrial cities, very important. So some of them you might be knowing. So this this is Bonn, this is Cologne, this is Dusseldorf, very important cities. Here we have an important city, Hamburg. Here we have Bremen. For the soccer enthusiasts, we have the Bundesliga. There are German-based clubs. So Werder Bremen, you might have heard, Borussia Dortmund. Here we have another historically famous place, Munich. So football club Bayern Munich. Okay, and here the tragedy at 1972 when the Munich Olympics were conducted, where an extremist Palestinian-based group they assassinated 8 Israelis. Okay, then if we move further, so here we have Frankfurt, here we have Stuttgart, very important cities. Here we have Leipzig, okay. Here we have Dresden, and here finally we have the capital Berlin. Another important city near Berlin is the Potsdam. For those of you who have studied World War in depth, so three major conferences were held, one at Yalta, one at Tehran, and one at Potsdam, which was the final conference on which the Allied victorious powers they decided after Germany or the Axis powers were defeated. The Allied powers they decided to conduct this conference to solve the issue of division of Germany. So two parts, major parts, the East Germany and Western Germany, the German Democratic Republic and the Federal Republic of Germany were established. And in Berlin, you know, the Berlin Wall was constructed. Recently, 35th anniversary was sort of celebrated on the fall of the Berlin Wall, which took place in 1989. Okay, so this is the basic. Now the now next we'll come to why Germany, how Germany became an industrial powerhouse. So some stats. So it is the world's third largest economy in terms of nominal GDP. Okay. Then, if we consider, you might have heard the recent crisis, Volkswagen, but Volkswagen in itself does not define the entire German economy. It is a symbol because Germany is an automotive powerhouse. But recently, Volkswagen decided to shut down three of its factories, affecting over around 8 lakh employees. So that is why you hear Volkswagen all around. But it is a major exporter of not only automobiles, but industry, industrial machinery, biochemicals, biomedicines, pharmaceuticals, electronic goods. Okay, fine. It contributes 3.16% of GDP to R&D, research and development. So collaboration between industry and universities, which India or other developing nations are striving to establish. Then mostly it has experienced trade surplus, which is a major headache for India. It mostly experiences trade deficit, trade surplus, and exports. So exports have been in 2019 to the tune of $181 trillion. So that is the might. Okay. Then when it comes to the energy sector, Germany is a leader in climate oriented or climate friendly technologies. 46% of its energy requirements are fulfilled by the renewable energy. It is a leading it is a leading producer of wind turbines in the world. There is a very famous program in running in Germany which is known as energy wind, related to the renewable energy. But despite all these developments, it is still dependent on energy requirements on fossil fuels to the tune of 30%. So 30% is still fossil fuels, and this is going to be discussed as one of the reasons why German economy is facing so much troubles. And I was talking about Volkswagen. Volks actually, if we divide the two terms, Volks means the common people, wagon means car or vehicle. So it was promoted during the time of Hitler itself, that Hitler wanted to develop a people's car. But apart from all that, I was talking about the various other industries. So if we first start with vehicles, so Daimler, Volkswagen, we have BMW. So industrial automotive, there are automotive powerhouses. Then we have SAP, the largest software company in Europe. We have Alliance, the world's largest insurance company. We have Bayer, which is a leading producer of biomedicine. Fine. We have Bosch, automotive equipment. What else? Lufthansa, largest airline in Europe. Then, can you think of anything else? So, all this diversity, not only, of course, we have Siemens for industrial machinery. So, you can see the diversity, the tourism, the electronics, not just automobile. Okay, so this is what has made research and development, industrial goods, machinery, and their export along with the resources. Fine. Now we are going to discuss what the troubles are facing. First of all, till 2019, I gave you an export stat of 2019 in terms of exports, but troubles began, of course. Pandemic came, the COVID pandemic came, and still Germany is yet to recover completely. Fine. So first of all, let's start with the automotive sector. Basically, Germany has been late, or it has delayed its approach to adopting the electric vehicles. Okay. There has been reduced demand for conventional gasoline powered vehicles. So that is why also Volkswagen companies like Volkswagen are suffering. Then the introduction of electric vehicles from China. Countries like China, they have made inroads into not only India but the developed nation as well. One famous company is BID, other is MG. Earlier it was a British company, MG. Okay, then digitally also, the digital initiatives, the digital technologies, that has also been, Germany has been late in adopting those. Then I told you that 30% of Germany's energy needs are still satisfied by fossil fuels. So it is dependent heavily on petroleum and natural gas from Russia. Okay, and due to Ukraine Russia war, it has been impeded. The homework for you would be to study this Nord Stream pipeline, which has been there in the news of late, relatively recently. Okay, then one more thing. An important point to note about the German economy is that it is a social market economy. It is a unique type of economy where, along with the free market, the social welfare measures are also implemented. Okay, so there is an overarching regulatory measures by the bureaucracy. Another important structure, although we talk about all these large countries, you might have heard of this term, Mittelstand. Very important from the context or point of view of Germany's economic development. These are basically privately owned small household companies. So 99% of the industries, they belong to this Mittelstand, and they are known as the hidden champions. So very important. So bureaucracy is also throttling the development which are made of Mittelstand, which are similar to SMEs, MSMEs in country like India. So they are throttling. So all this is has led to not only the economic turmoil but also dissensions or disagreements between the ruling coalition, the different parties in the ruling coalition. Fine. And one of the major points which we need to discuss after the economy, the political instability. So recently you might have heard that Olaf Scholz, the German chancellor of the Social Democratic Party, he fired the finance minister Christian Lindner of the Free Democratic Party. So it is also, till now it was also known as the Traffic Light Coalition. Why? Because of the traditional colors assigned to the various political parties. So basically, the Social Democratic Party, it is actually abbreviated as SPD, because in Germany, the parties, the pronunciation and the arrangement of words is different. So SDP, Social Democratic Party, this is of Olaf Scholz. Then we have the Free Democratic Party of Lindner, the finance minister who was recently fired. And finally, we have the Greens Party, Green Party. So they have traditional colors. They have been associated just like Republicans and Democrats in the from the point of view of US political history. So this, and often this is a flag of Zimbabwe. So if the there is one more party known as the Christian Democrats. Christian Democrats, CDU. So they have often been associated with the black color. I am writing in white color because it will not be visible. So they often have been found resembling the flag of Zimbabwe. Just for, okay, additional information. So now what was the point of contention? Why the political instability in the Bundestag has occurred? Because due to the economic collapse, what happens? What the government needs to do in order to revive the economy, to get it rolling again, to get it moving again. So investment is required. So the Olaf Scholz Social Democratic Party is in favor of borrowing. So if it borrows more for investment, the debt will increase. On the other hand, historically, although Germany has been a social market economy, so it focuses not only the free market but also the social, the welfare aspect. So there is a concept of debt break. So obviously, if debt will increase, so further economy, it might have positive impact, but in the long run the debt will increase, so it might be difficult to recover from all the debt or economic losses. So that is what Lindner's party, the Free Democratic Party, the Yellow Party, is contradicting him. So they are not agreeable to the terms, so the coalition government has broken apart. Okay, the Free Democratic Party has broken from the traffic light coalition. So currently there is a talk of snap elections or vote of confidence. So obviously, just like in Indian Parliament, the majority party, the single largest party of the coalition, has to prove its majority for continuing the formation and running of the government. Similar is the German Parliament, National Parliament also. So currently, what is happening is that it requires support from the CDU, the Christian Democratic Party, in order to stay in power. Another development which has taken place quite of late in the German polity or the German political landscape is the rise of far right, far right, and far left wing party. So, Social Democratic Party of Olaf Scholz is considered to be little bit left of center. Okay, so it is a balance, but this far right conservative parties, which we had discussed, Trump's Republicans. So the party name is ADF, the alternative for Germany. Again, the acronym or abbreviation might be different. So it is also demanding for the elections, for the stepping down, for the dissolution of the government and holding elections. So obviously, already Germany is encountering a severe economic slowdown. Compared to that, if there is a government political turmoil, so all those decisions, all those policies, if they have to be passed in the parliament, so they need to have the majority government in power to let those legislations become acts or laws. This is the political turmoil. And last, like we discussed the agenda in the beginning, the geopolitical aspects. Okay. So, one is the political turmoil. Now, you have to consider this fact that Germany is an important member of G7, G20. Germany was one of the founding members of Eurozone, the the European Union. So if this collapses, obviously the European Union, the common economy, that will get into trouble. It will have ripple effects. So that is one geopolitical influence. Okay, and obviously with nations like India, India is one of the largest senders of migrants or students who want to study there. So skilling and all research and development we have already discussed, and the global political order which is changing drastically. Most significant recently is the election of Trump as president. So Trump, we know, already discussed in the previous few lectures that he is pro protectionist and pro tariff. So if tariffs, protectionist measures are increased, then it will already the industries, manufacturing industries in Germany are floundering. They are having a tough time. So the industries will consider relocating to US. So that will again weaken the manufacturing base. Again, if I see the if I tell you the GDP stats, so 70% of the GDP is contributed by the service sector, 29.1% is contributed by the industrial sector, and around 0.9% is contributed by the agricultural sector. So that is why manufacturing hub, if it is displaced or relocated to US, so that will hamper in the long run. So this we have completed. We discussed the geography, important cities. Then we have discussed the economy, what fuels, what has strengthened the economy. Then we have discussed the current political turmoil, and then the geopolitical aspects. So I hope this was an enlightening session for you today. You got to learn a lot of things. So till we meet again next time, Jai Hind.